What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to go over the mindset of Tom Brady and why he has such a great career in the NFL. Let's get into it.
Because life isn't about the successes, life is about the challenges too. And because we're all going to go through challenges. Nothing's a straight line in life. There's nothing that just goes exactly the way you plan it. Sometimes there's a lot of adversity along the way, and you need people there that support you when things get rough too. And, my parents have been there like your dad and your mom have been, I'm sure, every step of the way as well.
I think it developed over a period of time, and I think there was a work ethic that was in me. I think most people probably know a few things about me, but I was never, I would say, like a prodigy. I wasn't like the kid where you see Tiger Woods swinging on the Johnny Carson show at 2 or 3 years old, and his swing looks as good as it did at 3 years old as it did, as he grew older. Or certain players that had this unbelievable prodigy aspect to themselves. I saw myself as someone who probably had some other traits that maybe were hard to identify, but that were really sustainable over time, which was, I would say, work ethic and discipline. And that was instilled in me by, I think, my parents. I mean, there was part of it that they gave me, but also just behaviorally growing up in an environment where my dad was out to work every morning, trying to go make a living for our family. And my mom woke up every day trying to figure out how to make sure the home was comfortable for us and, to support the kids. So there was this discipline that I had that even as 13, 14, 15 years old, where all these other boys I went to an all-boy school in the Bay Area, and I remember showing up my first day as freshman year. I didn't have much, hair under my arms or anything like that. I was like, and these other kids came in shaving, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't know how to put the pads on in my pants when I tried out for freshman football. I mean, I had never played until that point except in the street. So these kids came out there, they had helmets and shoulder pads that they had worn for 4 years through Pop Warner, and I went on the field and I was like, I'm gonna get killed out here. And my freshman year, I didn't even play. I was the backup quarterback on a team that went 0-8. That says a lot. I couldn't get on the field, and we never won a game anyway. I mean, it's one thing to be the starting quarterback and to lose. If they don't even think you're good enough to be a starting quarterback on a team that's 0-8, you must really suck. And the reason why I played my second year was because that quarterback quit because he's like, I'm not playing football anymore. We suck. I'm going to focus on basketball. So naturally, I was like, oh, cool. I'll continue to, work on my skill because I actually had a halfway decent arm. But a lot of it was even going into my second year in high school. There were workouts in the morning at 6 a.m. before school. And I was like, okay, I can get up at 6 a.m. and I can go do these rope drills where you'd run through the ropes. You see a lot of people do that. There were these hills that we would run up. And there was probably less than 10 people there, but I was probably one of the 3 that were there almost every single day to try to continue to push myself to grow in these maybe physical areas that I was really behind a lot of the other people at. Because naturally, no one's good at everything. I mean, that's just not the way life works. We're all talented at certain things, but we can really continue to improve our weaknesses if we're humble enough to identify them, and we can build on our strengths. And I think we're all trying to find a more well-rounded aspect to ourselves, but a lot of that has to come with this understanding about yourself that what you know is very limited and what you don't know is limitless.
I think it's really about how you think about yourself. It's who you look at in the mirror every day, saying, am I proud of the person that I'm looking at in the mirror? Am I trying to do the right thing for people? Am I trying to be the right person, for myself first? Am I proud of the person that's in the mirror? What changes do I need to make?
This is the draft report on you. Basically, it goes poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength,
lacks mobility and ability to avoid the rush, lacks a really strong arm, can't drive the ball downfield, does not throw a really tight spiral.
System type player who can get exposed if forced to add lift.
And gets knocked down easily.
That kind of gets me fired up because I'm thinking, what the hell do these people know? I mean, that sounds like Joe Montana right there.
A lot of people don't believe in you. It was obvious by, 6 other quarterbacks taken and 198 other picks. And I always felt, once I get my shot, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to really take advantage of that.
so-and-so get picked, and then there's 9 more picks gone until one team that you think was interested. You get pretty anxious. So I remember being downstairs for like the 4th round, and that came and gone. And the 5th round was coming and going, and all these other guys were getting picked.
Beginning of the 6th round, he says, I got to get out of here. So he gets up, comes downstairs, and grabs a baseball bat and starts walking up the street.
I don't want to sit around and maybe my hopes get up, or I'd rather just take my mind off it.
And finally, he comes back into the house, and it's about the 22nd pick of the 6th round. And he says, I got to get out of here. The poor guy, and the tension in the house is just really rough.
And it was hard. I remember taking a walk with my dad and mom around the block. It was just a tough day. I just remember being there with my mom and dad. Sorry about that. They just were so supportive of me. And they take it as emotional as I do. And, finally when the Patriots called, I was so excited. I was like, I don't have to be an insurance salesman, So, my family was there. We were all excited. And thank God I got picked here.
The draft. And we were jubilant.
I would encourage everyone to play football for the simple reason that it is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts and 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity, and that team accomplishment far exceeds anyone's individual goals. To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you look at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life.
Remember guys, the message in this video is never give up on yourself, no matter what the doubters say. If you truly believe in yourself, continue putting in endless amounts of effort into your craft until your name is called on. Whether it takes a day, a month, or even a year, you must be ready when your time comes.